You ready? Afternoon. Can you lead us off in the Pledge of Allegiance? Apparently, Pat, you're not. Billy, lead us off the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kathy, would you like to sit, stand?
Okay. Dear Lord, Father of all people, please accept our thanks for your interest of our community. We call upon you for strength and guidance at the Riverhead Town Board meetings. Give us your direction so that we may be more faithful, responsible, and effective, serving the community and people committed to our care in the days ahead. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. All right, so when you're a public figure, sometimes you have public things come out that you don't want to come out. So obviously I said some words that I regret. And so I'm sitting here, and today, even up till today, I was like, I'm not apologizing. Reading some biblical verses that I wasn't reading, I was just paraphrasing, and I said, I'm not doing anything. And then so Councilman Gabrielson came in, and I was reading the Bible, and I want to read something, and I'm going to say something. And it's Matthew, and I don't have classes to read. You know, you normally get a Bible verse in your town board meeting, but I'm not the typical supervisor, I guess. So this is Matthew 7, and it's do not judge. Judge not, that you not be judged. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with what measure you use, it will be a measure back to you. And why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye, but do not consider the plank in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me remove that speck from your eye, and not look at the plank that is in your own eye? Hypocrite, first remove the plank from your own eye, and then you will see it clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they be trampled under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened for you. For everyone who asks receives, and for he who seeks finds. And to find him who knocks, it will be opened. Or what man is there among you who, if his son asks you for bread, will not give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, you will not give him a serpent? If then, being evil, know how to give good gifts for your children, know how much more your Father who has in heaven will give good things to those who ask. Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, do to them. For it is the law and it is the prophets. Jody, I am so sorry. I was out of line. I shouldn't have done it. And quite frankly, so every once in a while you got to go into the Bible, and I apologize. Now the town should move forward with the business at hand, and hopefully this is beyond, it's over. I hope you accept my apology.
I think it's nice. I think that it's a private matter, and I think that we should move on with the town board meeting.
Agreed. Okay, thank you. Now we have something special. A couple proclamations. Why don't we move up to the front? Turn this off. Okay. Why don't we grab that? The other one isn't working.
As long as it is big.
All right, this is, wow, this one works really well. This is a proclamation. Billy, you want to come up? This is a proclamation that was written by the town board, and I'm going to read it. It is fitting and proper that the town board and the residents of the Riverhead town, especially those residing within the boundaries of the Riverhead Fire District, which includes the hamlets of Riverhead, Centerville, Northville, Roanoke, Reeves, and small portions of Aquabog and Calverton, to join with the Riverhead Fire Department in recognizing Billy Frizzolowski for her 65-year commitment to the Riverhead Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary. And whereas the Riverhead Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary was organized in January of 1932 to aid and assist members of the Riverhead Fire Department when called upon. Billy, do you want to sit down if that's too much to stand?
We get you a chair.
Okay. There you go, John. Whereas since 1947, Billy has actively served the residents throughout the Riverhead Fire District by going above and beyond the call of duty as an active member of the Riverhead Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary, and whereas Billy has held the office as president from 1974 to 1975, vice president from 1954 to 1955, and in 1973, and secretary from 1950 to 1951, and for the past 22 years, Billy has actively held the office of Sergeant-at-Arms to welcome and introduce guests at monthly meetings and to lead the auxiliary in the Pledge of Allegiance. And where Billy Frizzolowski has been a committed member of the Ladies Auxiliary and exhibited dependability and leadership as the devoted member of the organization, and has clearly validated the pride and distinguished reputation so upheld by the Riverhead Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary, and whereas Billy Frizzolowski has inspired others with her positive attitude, willingness to sponsor members, and to serve in various committees of the Ladies Auxiliary, including working on fundraisers and signal lights. I don't know what that is. What's
Signal lights up when they're at a fire and they need refreshments or food, the ladies already come in and they prepare food and refreshments for the fire.
I'm not a firefighter. I learned something new. Now, further, let it be known that the town of Riverhead wishes to thank the auxiliary member Billy Frizzolowski for her 65 years of dedicated service as a volunteer of the auxiliary and as a volunteer auxiliary member of the Riverhead Fire Department. And we ask that the town board and the residents of the town of Riverhead join in sustaining public awareness of this vital member of our community throughout the year. Be it therefore resolved that I, Sean Walter, Supervisor of the Town of Riverhead, by the authority vested in me as Supervisor of the Town of Riverhead, do hereby ask the residents of the Town of Riverhead to graciously join in the celebration and complain at what?
Of Billy Frizzolowski Day in the town of Riverhead.
There you go. Want me to read this whole one too? Okay, we're going to read this whole. Does anybody else want to read this one? Okay. All right.
There you go.
This is the 80th anniversary of the Ladies Auxiliary in the Riverhead Fire Department. Whereas upon, I'm going to need you for the names here. Whereas the suggestion of two volunteer firemen of the Riverhead Fire Department, Stanley Polinsky and Frank Chucka White, the wives of the volunteer fire department, the wives of the volunteer firefighters organized the Ladies Auxiliary to aid and assist the department when needed. And whereas the first meeting of the Riverhead Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary was held on January 25th, 1932, with Ms. Harold Downs presiding as a temporary chairlady, when the first slate of officers were nominated and elected. Ms. Harold Downs as president. You guys didn't have first names then. Mrs. Harry Penny as vice president, and Mrs. Rudolph Hajak as secretary, and Mrs. William Hubbard as treasurer. And whereas the first bylaws of the Riverhead Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary were adopted in February 1932, and it was established that regular meetings will be held on the second Wednesday of each month at 8 o'clock in the evening. And whereas the ladies organized a refreshment committee to aid the firefighters to signalate, to firefighters a parade team, and held fundraising events such as card parties, cake sales, I like cake, rummage sales, and during wartime they donated cakes and their time to the USO. And whereas throughout the past 80 years, the Riverhead Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary has assisted the firefighters in our community, whether by offering refreshments at fire scenes, raising funds, or helping with community events, now further, let it be known that the Riverhead Fire Department Ladies Auxiliary is a community resource that has enormously benefited the residents of the town of Riverhead and provided assistance to the Riverhead Fire Department for 80 years.
Be it therefore resolved, what is it today?
It's their 80th anniversary for the Lady Auxiliary of the Riverhead Fire Department.
Fran, thank you very much. Ladies, thank you for coming to the town board meeting. Does anybody want to take pictures of some of the members of the Ladies Auxiliary? I think...
well, let's go over by...
we'll come over here.
She doesn't have to get up there.
We'll come over here. You all from the Ladies Auxiliary? Yeah. Well, you guys are going to have to stand in the back. Let them sit in the front.
Okay.
Oh, let them sit. Let her sit. Let her sit. We're going to stand in the back. And you guys...
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are young enough to stand, so you can stand.
Okay.
Oh, I probably should have said that. I'm not allowed to say that. Come on, you're from the Ladies Auxiliary. Come on up.
Yeah, you're short.
Got to get in the picture. Oh, yes.
Move forward.
All right, smile. Now you guys got to come. Got to need more people on that side.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Ladies, thank you for all that you do.
Yes.
Thank you for all that.
Congratulations to the lady. Congratulations. That's it. Say it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all the service. Happy vacation. Ladies, thank you. Okay. All right. All right, let's get started with the official business today.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the town board minutes of June 5, 2012, and the special board meeting of June 7, 2012. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved in second. Vote, please.
Diglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Delini.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The minutes are approved.
Okay, reports.
Under reports from the tax receiver, total tax collection to date as of June 7th, $126,739,126.49. Total tax collection to date as of June 14th, $127,797,434.29. Under tax receiver, utilities collection report for May was $270,550.56. The police department submitted their monthly report for May. Building department submitted their monthly report for May, and that was $234,248.50. Under fire districts, we received the 2011 certified audit for the Jamesport Fire District. Under correspondence, a letter from Charles Cuddy regarding the proposed amendment to Chapter 108 zoning, RC Retirement Community District of the Town Code. And we received applications pending town board approval under special permits, Riverhead Country Fair in the downtown area for October 7th, Forgotten Friends of Long Island Summer Fair at Garden of Eve on Sound Avenue, August 18th. Under parades and assemblies of Riverhead High School commencement ceremonies for June 23rd. Under fireworks, Friars Head Golf Club on July 7th, Riverhead Bid at Grangeville Park July 3rd, and Jamesport Fire Department on July 14th.
All right, any committee reports?
No, I I just thought, I know the vote is going to, prior to that, I just want to congratulate all the seniors that are graduating from Riverhead schools this coming week on the 23rd. I know there's 77 from Mercy High School and there's 334 from Riverhead High School. But what's unique is that for the first time ever, Riverhead High School students were accepted to 7 out of the 8 Ivy League colleges. So it says a lot what's going on in Riverhead, and wish them luck in their future endeavors.
All right, I just once again want to mention this Sunday is the cardboard boat race starting at 12 noon. It's going to be a great event, so everybody get down there and cheer on your favorite boat, which would be mine.
I don't know, that Gabrielson boat works, lightning
Well, he makes a few of them, so I'm sure he
They all look the
whammies
same.
some of them, I'm sure.
They all look the same, like bricks.
Yeah, but it got you the trophy last year.
We'll see if lightning
It'll be nice.
strikes again.
I'll put a brick in it.
All right, anybody else? No? Let's go to public hearings. 7:05 haven't arrived and left. We have the consideration of local law to amend Chapter 108 titled Waterways of the Riverhead Town Code. 108, Section 108.6-8 operation, reckless speed operation areas restricted to electric motor. Oh, what I said? 106.8. John, this is you.
Okay.
We have to change this slightly.
All right.
Yeah, wait a minute. Is that the one? That's the one. That's the one.
Come on.
We're taking out.
Okay. What this is doing is for our environment and ecology. What we're doing, we're not permitting any more gas-powered engines on the Conic River from Grangeville Park north to our town line. This will save our environment and ecology in case anything spills in there. Electric can't spill, and so we're just trying to help the environment and ecology by doing this.
All right, we are, we'll take your comments if there are anybody in a minute. We have too many boat vessels in here, so there's a slight modification. I don't think it goes to the substance of the regulation. Section J, the first sentence, the first line, we're taking out boat, vessel, or just before the last word motor in that line. So it'll read, no person shall operate, start, run, or permit to be operated a motor boat other than an electric motor to propel a boat. And then we're going to take out vessel or, so it's going to be propel a boat, motor boat, a boat or, so the or should stay there, or motor boat on the Peconic River, including the water areas in and basically what we did is we precluded all boats, and that was never our intention. Whether it was motorboat, canoe, sailboat, so it was never our intention. We're pulling that out to make it correct. So with that being said, I know we've talked about this before. Does anybody else want to be heard? I know some people are supportive of it. If you'd like to be heard, sir. Yep, step up and give us your name, and I think we got it right this time.
While they're stepping up, I think also in the second sentence, we're going to delete or propose to delete boat, vessel, or as well. So because boat is any vessel propelled in any manner, and then when you look at vessel, it includes a sailboat and other boats. So I think just to eliminate motorboat is
Can I just ask one question?
is that which is propelled by an engine. So to avoid any further confusion in the fact that so just motorboat would be in both the first sentence
What about
and the second sentence.
the motorized like canoes and things like that in the lakes? That's what I'm concerned about.
Jet skis.
Are they considered motorboats?
They're considered a personal watercraft.
Personal watercraft.
I think under this definition, we have the general characterization of a motorboat as any vessel that's propelled in whole or in part by an engine.
Okay.
So I would argue that it encompasses that.
Okay, that would
Vehicle
accomplish
traffic
that.
law of the state defines vessel. Right.
All right, I'm going to read it one more time so it's clear for the record. No person shall operate, start, run, or permit to be operated a motorboat other than an electric motor to propel a motorboat on the Peconic River, including water areas in and for the waters designated as Peconic Lake, formerly known as Forge Pond, and extending to the Grangeville Dam, westerly side of Peconic Avenue. This restriction shall not apply to emergency personnel in the performance of emergency activities that are necessary to protect the public health, safety, and welfare, and in the furtherance of activities pursuant to a lawfully issued permit.
But you didn't state what he just stated.
That is what I said. That is what I said.
Yeah, that's what it says, but the motorboat include those personal. Now you said something different than he just read, which I would think.
No, I said that.
You said anything that's powered by a gas powered would be excluded.
There's three definitions: boat, vessel, motorboat. The version included boat, vessel, or motorboat, and a question was raised whether somebody kayaking, in theory, could be charged with being on the water without an electric motor, even though they were paddling. So to avoid any confusion, it's going to be more limited or restricted, if you will, to a motorboat only.
Okay,
The motorboat is that which is propelled by motor.
I have to be corrected because it's under the definitions of motorboat.
Right.
And that definition of a motorboat is what you said.
I would have never
not the
thought
body of it. Okay?
Exactly.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
State your name and family.
Hi, my name is Ernie Fugina, and I am president of the Peconic Lake Estates Civic Organization. On behalf of the Peconic Lake Civic Organization, I would like to ask the board to consider the safety of the canoers and kayakers who use this lake. Please ban the gas motors on this lake. Passing this will be favorable for the environment and the safety of all. I want to thank all the environmental groups and fishermen that have given me support. Most of all, I'd like to thank legislator Ed Romaine and his office staff for the support they have given me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Virginia. Does anybody else wish to be heard? Not seeing anybody, I'm going to close the public comment portion. Today is the 19th, so we'll leave it open for written comment until June 29th. If anybody wants to make a written comment, you do file that in the town clerk's office by 4:30 on the 29th. Okay, second public hearing is consideration of local law amending Chapter 10 entitled Civil Claims, Riverhead Town Code, and that one for adding.
This is adding the Riverhead IDA Economic Job Development Corporation.
To the I-2 priority identification. Oh, there we go. Okay, the Economic Job Development Corporation was something that the town of Riverhead had formed in conjunction with the IDA, but it had never been included in this civil claims portion of our town code. Does anybody wish to be heard on this? Not seeing anybody? We'll leave it, close the public comment portion, leave it open for written comment until June 29th, 4:30 in the House office. Okay, now is a time where we listen to public comments on resolutions. Sal, have you been on vacation?
No, a couple of conflicts.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Sal Mastropolo, Calverton. Resolution 450. The question is, are the from and to reversed on the second section, the 33,000 worth? You would think the from should be the fees and the to should be the laterals and the professional services. It seems like they're reversed, unless I'm reading it
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Abstain.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 478.
Appoints interpreter for the police department and justice court. So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 479.
This approves the application for fireworks permit of Newton Shows, which is Peconic Bay Medical Center Family Festival, July 6th, 2012. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yeah, this is for Peconic Bay Medical Center. Around 25A in Wading River, every year, they have a carnival. And it's great. It runs for 3 days, so everybody should go out there with the kids and have fun. And watch the fireworks on July 6th, so I hope yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 480.
Approves Chapter 90 application for Peconic Bay Medical Center, and that's for the Family Festival at July 4th, 2012, and July 7th, 2012. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 481.
Authorize the release of security of RiverEdge LLC, Riverhead Building Supply at EPCAL. So moved.
Did I miss something?
Yes.
481.
481.
I'll read it.
That's you.
Releases maintenance bond of Wading River Woods LLC in connection with the condominium project known as Wading River Woods, 1-year maintenance bond. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 482.
All right, now this is the one. Authorize the release of security of RiverEdge LLC, Riverhead Building Supply at EPCAL. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved in second, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 483.
This authorizes the town clerk to publish and post a help wanted ad for a part-time kennel attendant. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, if anybody likes dogs and they want to report part-time with kennel, please come in and online, get an application and fill it out. I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 484.
Approves Chapter 90 application of Railroad Museum of Long Island. That's the Riverhead Railroad Museum Open House 2012. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
That's the end of August, right? Yes or
Yeah, August, yeah.
That was a yes?
Yes.
Dunleavy.
I guess I'm the only one advertising these things. They're great. This railroad museum thing is great for the kids. They have a train that runs around the whole inside of the railroad museum. They have electric train set they received from New York City. I think they got it from Macy's, that anybody can go in and watch them run it. And it's great for the kids and the adults. So I vote yes. The 25th to the 26th.
Yes. That's
Resolution
because Tom,
adopted.
you go to every single thing. I don't think there's a thing in this town that you don't show up at. Which is good.
Resolution 485.
Authorizes the town clerk to charge and receive a fee of $1 per deer hunting permit issued effective throughout the legal deer hunting area of the town of Riverhead. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
This is really just pretty much housekeeping. Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, the DEC is requiring us to do this. I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 486.
Authorize town clerk to publish and post a public notice to consider a local law to amend Chapter 58 entitled Dogs of the Riverhead Town Code. So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 487.
This appoints William M. Duffy to act as legal counsel for the Architectural Review Board of the town of Riverhead. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved in second, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Again, this one, deputy town attorneys are giving them extra work. But he's only to act as, so he doesn't really have to be a legal counsel. He just acts as a legal counsel. I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 488.
Authorize supervisor to execute a license agreement with Downtown Riverhead Holdings LLC. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes, just with that one correction on that word, properly, the property. Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, as corrected.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 489.
Approves Chapter 90 application of the Riverhead Country Fair Committee, Riverhead Country Fair, October 7, 2012. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Are we waiving the chapter?
Here we are.
Bob, do you have the insurance? 5 million?
I think we're doing 2 million is what the board determined the last time.
Yeah, I'll move no.
Well, Rotary supplies this insurance for the alcohol, wasn't it? And the vendors too. And I think the board made it.
There's no vendor except for Rotary.
Theory.
Just Rotary.
But 2 million is what the board, we talked about the last time.
This is business as usual. Doing this.
Yeah, you're for charity. In that way, for
Yes.
You voted no. Correct. Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
I've been I probably should have stayed.
Well, you're the announcer.
Yeah.
You want to hear Council Wooten announce all day long.
I don't think
you
you have
gotta
a
come.
conflict because you're on
That's
the
it.
committee.
Really?
That's it.
I'll vote yes.
We're going to vote yes? Okay.
I just don't think, I don't think we should waive Chapter 46 for the entire town. I think we should waive it only for the areas where they are, which would be Main Street and Peconic parking lot. I don't think we should name it Polish Town, or Wading River, or Jamesport.
It's not waived for James.
What?
It's applicable to this, to the area that's the subject matter of Chapter 90.
Yeah.
So it's tied to the application, it's not a town-wide waiver.
Yeah, it was quick.
So by granting this to
The last one, we limited to the parking lot.
Yeah, this is going to be too. So if you have
Does it
matters.
say that? Oh, we'll get a member next meeting. If I don't vote yes, I'm gonna get stamped here. I vote yes. I just think it should be waived for the entire town. And the town attorney is saying that it's going to be limited.
Well, are you suggesting, and I guess that's the question, that by waiving Chapter 46, and that somebody in Wading River can walk around with a beer outside?
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's not what this the intent.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
Okay.
Unless you're on your property. You know, beer on
Yeah,
your
you
property.
can have a beer on your property.
I didn't backtrack.
I vote yes.
Walter. Okay. Resolution adopted. Resolution 490.
Establishes vacation performance market for the 2012 season. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Just want to point out, this will be on each Thursday, beginning June 21st, 2012, obviously, and it'll just run through the harvest season. And we want to thank Bob Gannon. He's been instrumental in keeping this going for 30 years. So I vote yes.
Wooten.
I certainly will support this. I don't remember last year when the car show was. I don't know the car show. I don't remember the farmer's boys.
No, the farmer's market's during the day.
It's in the day, it does the day.
It's not at night. It's only during the day.
Yes.
Certain hours during the day. And it's on parking district property, and it's held on every Thursday. I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 491.
Pays bills. So moved.
And seconded?
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter. Resolution adopted. And we have several on the floor.
I make a motion that we take resolution 492, 493, and 494 off the floor.
495.
And 495 also? So moved.
I'll second.
And second, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolutions 492 through 495 are taken off the floor. Moving forward to adopt. Separately.
Separately, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
492.
492.
Okay. Sure. Proper protocol. You gotta follow.
Yeah, you're right.
General fund transfer budget adjustment. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Apparently this is going to finish the dog park, am I correct? So we're transferring
What this
money
is,
to pave.
it's part of a, well, the dog park is situated in Cavity, but it's part of a bigger plan for the tennis courts and the basketball court. But there is a main roadway from that beautiful parking lot up to the dog park and plan.
So this money would come out of recreation, I think you called it out, recreation.
Well, no, this is coming out of
Printing
printing line for the recreation.
from recreation should be out of his budget.
Right.
So he has the money to spare, so.
Right.
We know what we can cut next year. If it is left over. So,
Well, that's
yes,
right,
oh,
because
yes.
there's a fund source coming, so it would be.
I'll vote yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yep, almost all this money was donated money, didn't come out of the town budget. And this is the last thing that we need, is for this walkway from the parking lot, unless you're walking through weeds and everything else.
It's not the last, what's the rest?
That's for the bars and the coat, box.
Now, we should talk about that. Go ahead.
We gotta talk about it.
We don't need that. Vote yes.
I vote yes.
Walter.
I'm voting no because I don't think we should be taking it out of a printing budget, the recreation department.
Somebody didn't get a brochure out there, you know what happened.
We have 50 of them on the furnace desk.
Okay, so 492 was adopted. 493.
493.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an addendum to the agreement with Black Box to audit telephone billing for the town of Riverhead. So moved.
And seconded.
Okay, discussion. Chris. I'm getting all sorts of emails about this. I'm not quite sure about what have we done here now.
We have
This was,
delayed there was a resolution done earlier in the year, January 18, 2002, authorizing an agreement to be entered PSA in order to do an audit of phone system. There was an audit done, and this is to amend it to allow for 45 additional days.
right, so when
And to,
this is going to amend the agreement, and it's going to say that the auditing company is not going to get paid for doing the audit for 45 days after the lines are terminated.
right.
We've been overpaying Verizon to the tune of $75,000. So we'll realize a significant savings on an annual basis after we pay the auditing company. And Verizon has confirmed that these phone lines have not been used and that we are eligible for the $75,000 refund. So this is just saying that the auditing company is not going to get paid for 45 days because if it's determined that one phone line needs to be reconnected, he's not going to get his money for that one phone line.
That's right.
So that's what the engineering department and the information technology department came up with at our meeting with the auditing company, and this is just to change the initial agreement to delay their payment for 45 days.
Yeah, as I understand, this is something that the town has done before. They disconnected a line thinking it was of no utility or had any use, and then discovered that, oops, it was something that we didn't need. So they had to reconnect. So this is sort of a bootstrap to make sure it doesn't occur again. And after the 45 days, assuming there's no problems, the consultant gets paid.
Where does the 75,000? Do we have to pay the consultant?
No, it's paid to Verizon Grade, to give us credit,
Yeah.
and then they're paid a percentage based upon the credit that we achieve.
They get half of what.
So they would get half, so we'd get
And then we save
half
the
at
rest of the year.
75.
The 45-day delay is because these lines cannot be traced back to where they go. And we have alarms all over the place. And they're tested once a month. That's why this is 45 days. And if an alarm doesn't work, and that line has to be reconnected, then they will not get paid for that line. But also, we've been paying for some private house, line going to some private house.
He's a lucky guy.
You know, somebody's been lucky, because I called the number and he answered the phone. So I mean, this is something that we have to do to save the taxpayers money.
That's what the auditing company did, and we're also, looking into a line that we pay $500 a month for a line that goes to a tower in Wading River, and that the police department supposedly was using, but it's not fully determined that they're using it or not using it, so that's the only outstanding item that they're still working on, and that won't be disconnected.
And the emails that you've been getting, I got one from our recreation department, Red Coin, who said they did this before, and there wasn't any problem with them disconnecting those lines.
Right, and they recently did it with Suffolk County, Town of Islip, and New York State, and there weren't any problems with disconnecting the lines because Verizon did confirm that those lines have been inactive for a number of years, and we've been paying the phone bill for those lines.
Yeah, so we have to move along.
Okay.
Is it only time to vote?
No, nobody voted yet.
No discussion.
Yeah.
No, that's not voting.
Did you second it, John?
I seconded it.
Could you move it, Jody?
I moved it.
And I seconded it.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
I want to vote yes, but I also, we're in thank you, so I want to thank you for everybody out there for putting up with this board tonight. It's been a long affair, so thank you, everyone. Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
I think we accomplished a lot tonight. Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 494.
Authorize the downtown solid waste collection site agreement between the Town of Riverhead, Parking District, and Suffolk County Community College Culinary Arts, and the Hospitality Center, Haiku, Blue Engraved Mexican Grill, and Bart's Pharmacy. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, we're taking an eyesore, these dumpsters away from the back of the buildings and moving them all to one location with one dumpster, and everybody's going to share that one dumpster, and it's going to be fenced and it's going to be landscaped. So I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes, and this is a long time coming.
We'll come bring it back on the town property.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 495.
Same vein, we're going to town property on the south side. So this authorizes downtown solid waste collection site agreement between the Town of Riverhead Parking District, and Cody's Barbecue Grill, Robert James Salon and Spa, the Atlas Grill, Tweeds Restaurant, Buffalo Bar, Riverhead, Vacuum and Sewing Center, and Dark Horse Restaurant. So
And second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Again, we're taking an eyesore. Most of these stores are built on 100% of their property, so we have to, they're on town property anyway, and they look awful. And when you go into one of these restaurants, you just have to smell garbage before you get into the restaurant. So if we move it, it's going to look nice, and the parking lot's going to be better off. I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Okay, so now we open the public comment portion for whatever you are on your mind. So I want to ask the board something. I guess Dennis Kenter came in and he readjusted everything because it's working much better. You can hear back there better, I think, can't you? What did you say? And so we talked about having tabletop mics, and Dennis, this is one of his, obviously it's not a brand new mic, but we talked about tabletop instead of having these because John's is broken.
Mine's broken, I have to keep moving it up.
And if this seems to work, you folks can hear me okay? And you can turn it off this somehow. Well, when I can make that red light come off, it goes. So you could turn it off, and you can turn it back on. So if the board thinks that's a good idea, maybe we'll have Dennis order these, because we've got to do something. And he obviously adjusted something because it's working a heck of a lot better. Well, he's not relay, but he's...
Right, yeah, no.
east, we have in this contract and a couple other things. So kind of,
No, I think it's a good idea. We have to upgrade our microphones. I mean, you get some people that pull these things down and shove them up.
yeah, I don't think we need all this extra cord, but
Yeah.
all right. So Tara, let's move forward. I think that's a good idea. All right. Yes, step to the plate.
Good evening. Dominique Mendez, Riverhead Neighborhood Preservation Coalition.
We haven't seen you in so long. We missed you.
I did miss one meeting, yes, you're right. Just
have
one.
an answer for you as to where we are in that study. Would you like that answer now?
I think I know the answer. Yeah. And you're going to be discussing it in work session on Thursday?
I was going to have Jill come up and give you the answer, but...
You're not going to be discussing it in work session on Thursday. You are.
If you know the answer, can you give it to me?
Discussing it on
I think you're discussing it on Thursday in work session. I think.
Is that the answer?
I think it's being presented to you by Bob and Rick Hanley. That's what I think. Or at least what the EAF and the latest status. So yeah, what I want to talk about is related to that. That's could be a step in the right direction, but who knows how long it'll take between that and zoning being adopted if you adopt. So I was here. Wow, this really is working better.
He really knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I've been playing with that thing for 2 years. We've never gotten to work this way.
Yeah, I don't remember it ever sounding quite like this. The planning board on Thursday, something else is happening, and it's the planning board is actually going to be discussing a third large shopping center in Wading River. This one is called North Country Ashore. I see different names for this thing. North Country Plaza.
It's a Partridge parcel.
It is across the one, kind of across from the King Cullen and CVS. And for those of you who don't know, it's 3 buildings, and one of them is over 23,000 square feet. And there's another large restaurant, because apparently people think we need lots of restaurants in Wading River. This is very alarming, and it's alarming because I know you're discussing it in work session, but each step seems to go very slowly. And if this town board doesn't move forward adopting zoning and code changes, you're likely to put yourself in a position to do very little to improve the future of Wading River. And I'll explain what I mean and why I would be concerned that that could happen.
Well, I think there's consensus on the board. That's probably what took the longest time, but I think there's consensus on the board to move forward. And then, unfortunately, if we move forward as I think the board is planning, that shopping center ain't going to happen.
Hopefully. Can I finish what I was going to say? So, so my concerns are, and I hope that will be the position, but it's harder to be confident in that because Nightland has, as we know, we approached you guys by doing a moratorium. We thought that was important. You guys decided not to. And then the town, not this board, approved Nightlands, but that was kind of, you guys knew that would probably happen. The Zumas parcel, there seemed to be wide support to rezone that. It was going to be rezoned MRP. It wouldn't have allowed retail. And then 3 of the board members shifted their opinion on that, and the major thing cited was, it had gone far along in the site plan process. That wouldn't be fair. Now we've got a proposal for a 3rd shopping center, and that could move forward. We don't want to be in a situation where we hear that same rationale again, because we don't know when you're actually going to move forward. And it doesn't even make sense to me why they're actually truthfully discussing this at the planning board on Thursday, because this has 3 buildings. It doesn't even meet the minimum requirement of BCR, which requires it to be a small cluster of at least 4 buildings. So why they're even at that point where they're entertaining this and discussing this at this level without kicking it out, saying first you have to make that minimum requirement, it makes you wonder why they're even doing that at this point. And then there's that issue of that large building.
Did they have the public hearing yet?
No, but why would they even be? Why
they have to process the application? That doesn't mean they have to process it. That it would be improper for them not to. They can't prove it if it doesn't comply, but they have to process.
But you have things like pre-submission conferences where you would say this doesn't have the right number of buildings.
One would think.
One would think, yes, and we would think. The other concern on this is, you know, as you've already acknowledged, and we all know that there was an issue, that it should say in the code that no building in BCR can be over 10,000 square feet. But it doesn't say the word building, it says the word store. You guys acknowledge that that wasn't the intent, and many people remember that's not the intent of what that zone was supposed to say.
That we're fixing? That we're fixing.
Right, but in very recently, there was another code issue that was brought to your attention, and you guys acknowledged it was a problem, but you didn't fix it until the Hawkins was allowed to build that breezeway. So we'd have logical concerns that that same thing could happen again. You're acknowledging there's a problem, you knew there's a problem with the breezeway, and you're going to correct it. But it took many months, and you guys actually seemed kind of...
out of the barn, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. And so we'd hate to see that happen again here. That has happened before, and we'd hate that shouldn't happen again in Wading River, and we hope that's not going to continue to happen. There's another issue, which is that there's been no cumulative impact study, and what's disconcerting is this is the third project that could be moving forward, because the Zumas parcel is getting close possibly to approval for that retail project, and this would be the third project, and there's been no cumulative impact study.
Hold that thought. Is Zumas still stuck in Pine Barrens Commission, Rick?
Yes.
Okay, that hasn't moved.
Right.
And I haven't, as a commissioner, I haven't seen it at all, so it's not even moved out of staff reports.
Right, but there isn't that much left, probably as much left in the planning board.
Oh, well, they haven't even made an application, but they can't do anything without going to the Pine Barrens Commission. I think, correct, Rick? Rick?
Yes.
They can't do anything without the Pine Barrens Commission acting
Their
first?
position is they need a hardship.
Okay.
So
And that
that has to
made
be...
an
Right.
application.
Well, our position is it should have been rezoned as you guys originally supported, but then because this process had gone far along, some of you guys had cited that as a reason not to support rezoning.
Actually, I think the reason was that we lost litigation from Zumas.
Do you want to go into
We
that
did.
again? I know you did. You lost, and I know exactly why. I can send you guys that litigation again. The reason that you lost the zoning, the reason that you lost the case is because you made mistakes. The town, and again, not you guys, but there were mistakes made in the rezoning of that. So the zoning didn't match the facts on the ground and the properties around it. So there was a reason that the court decided that.
Yes,
but he didn't
the court
have vested
decided
rights.
that. So, I mean, the same thing with Park Road, the same thing with several other parcels throughout town. We spend a lot of taxpayers' money in senseless litigation when the courts have already ruled. And we appeal and we lose, and we appeal and we lose.
So what are you
and
saying?
that is a continual pattern with litigation in this town. And the judge decided that when the master plan was adopted for that particular parcel, that it was done incorrectly. They challenged it in court, and the judge said they revert back to their old zoning.
That's
So
because
now,
that was done incorrectly.
So then we can go back to the judge and say, but wait, we're going to do it right. And the judge is going to say, but you're too late. He already did. He's already at the final stages. And, we keep pursuing litigation, and we keep losing.
It's a completely different action, and as long as this is justified, that shouldn't hold water. Any developer could threaten to sue on anything, but you can't just say, here, do whatever you want.
No, but they did sue, and
But
they won.
But they won on a previous action, and this would be a new action, and as long as it's done properly, it doesn't mean that they would win this time. You can use that. Jim, you agree? I mean, I just don't think that's...
Do it right.
Right, you do it right, and that won't happen. We just, really, you spent all this money on a study, and right now it looks like there'll be very limited rezoning, so we're just concerned that you don't waste the taxpayers' money and the time, and you just go forward.
And I will say again that the zoning that's in place, for the most part, is as per the comprehensive plan. It hasn't been challenged, okay? So the master plan was adopted. It said this is what the zoning is. There was community input. The zoning that was in place was much more intense, such as highway zoning. You could have a concrete yard or an asphalt plant. And instead, the town board decided to change it and make it so that you could have something like Nightland. And then the community was involved, The civics were involved. Everybody had a seat at the table. It was a ton of money for the master plan, for the comprehensive plan. It was hundreds of hours of community input, and the outcome of the master plan, for the most part, was upheld, except when it was challenged by litigation, which we lost.
This is an interesting take on it, and I would say that the community did not get what it asked for. The community did not envision and did not want zoning that would allow this much retail.
Were you there at the time when the master plan?
I was not, but I've been in many discussions, in lengthy discussions with many people who are integrally involved with that process. And I know there were some last-minute changes also in this one, too.
The gentleman behind you was there, so he knows what was discussed.
Exactly. Exactly. That's actually, that's it, and maybe, I don't know, Sid wants to address a little, although we have rehashed this, that issue over and over. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Mr. Sid Bell.
The old gentleman who was there, right?
You're the gentleman, yes, you are.
Thank you, thank you. It's nice to be called a gentleman. Just some brief comments on the 25A plan. I share a lot of Dominique's concerns, even though I was a part of the process, and it was an extended process. But I thought there was an agreement amongst the present town board that because of changing conditions, changing concerns about the need for the amount of business CR that the zoning allowed, that you were willing to finance, as you did, a new look at it, and that's what you did. On Monday, I was taking a walk up North Country Road by the old oak tree, and one of the property owners along 25A stopped. And he didn't try to run me over, by the way. And get that out of your mind.
That's a danger. All I'm thinking about is that's a dangerous place to walk.
Yes,
I know you're having a dangerous place to stop.
You're correct. You're correct. But he had something on his mind, and he was troubled by the fact that he just received notification from the planning board that this other project, this North, whatever it's called, project was moving forward. And he said, I thought there was agreement at the end of April from the town board of a direction. And the direction he was concerned was the split zone on the north side of the road, the MRP. And he is happy, he accepts it, okay? And he would rather see this than the existing zoning. And I said, well, I've been trying to get clarification as well. And one of the things I've asked the town attorney, I've been asking other people, and one of the explanations I recently got is there are two parallel tracks going on here. There's the planning board, okay, the applicant, they have to process the application, and there is the 25A planning study track. Well, if there are two tracks, I think we've gotten on the slow track. I want to get on the maglev track.
All right, well,
move this thing along.
The problem, and it really is a function of timing. We've spent a lot of time out of Suffolk County and Albany working on EPCA.
Right.
And the EFJ, right? Submitted the environmental assessment form, but it didn't comply with what the town board wishes were. And since we were really focused, it's tough to, run the train at 100 miles an hour in every single issue. And so we've been pushing very, very hard on EPCAL, and I don't want to say we didn't lose this, you can't do everything all at once. So what my staff really, Jill took it on herself with the town attorney to say, and Rick, we will fix the AF, the problems that the board had agreement on that you didn't put in the AF rather than keep, because we just kept going back and forth. And so they're doing that, and that's what's going to be discussed on Thursday.
you know, I don't always want to appear to be adversarial, you know, on this. And
Mark Lesko just texted me. Do you want to know what he says?
Who?
Mark Lesko's got a golf outing in Bailey Hollow.
Okay. Yes. But you know, I think it's important, like you indicated. You said something that was very wise. That the way you're going to know that the outcome of the final results of this plan is the compromise is that, quote, both sides are going to be sort of disgruntled and not too satisfied. But there is another option. The option is you come up with a bad plan, a plan that does almost nothing, and you spend $50,000, you know, on. And I think the jury is still out as far as that's concerned. And you know, I don't want to be cynical about this, and but you know, I hope we accomplish something, and I hope everyone comes out a winner in the end. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
My name is Nick DePiro. I'm from Wading River. I understand that Ms. Menendez and Mr. Dale carry a lot of weight in this town, and especially in Wading River. I don't carry that much weight, only about 170 pounds, but I would like to have some input as to whatever development goes on that Route 25A corridor. Has anyone ever considered, if and when these developments take place, that there be a certain lane to turn into those developments? Because Route 25A is really congested. And we can't use the argument that it's going to bring more traffic, because we have a lot of traffic there now as it is. Okay? Wading River is a pass-through town. We went through that before. What I would also like to have the town board consider, something like Mattituck has in their village, right in their business district. You drive through Mattituck, and the speed limit is reduced to 35 miles an hour. How can the town petition the state of New York to have that speed reduced from 45, because they don't do 45, they do 55 and 60. It would be very, very good if that speed limit could be reduced from at least 35 like it is in Mattituck. Mattituck was able to do it many, many years ago. Why can't Wading River? There's going to be a certain point where the business district starts at the east end and it ends at the west end. That should be the area where it should be reduced at 35 miles an hour. And also, that lane turning into these developments would be a very important thing, because right now we have one lane going in each direction. If you're going to have somebody turn into making a left-hand turn, that traffic is even going to be stopped and further back.
Can I ask you a question? In your development, because you're on 25A,
yes.
Do they have a turn lane there? A right turn lane?
If you're coming from the east, going west, the
should be a right turn lane.
There's no right turn lane, but
okay.
The shoulder is wide enough for a car to fit through.
Okay.
Whenever I turn into that area, if I want to make a right-hand turn, I go on the shoulder and I make a right-hand turn.
What happens is the plans are given to the state DOT. The state DOT then comes back with its recommendations for right-hand turns, or how the road has to be wide. That's everything built on a state highway has to be done that way. We can petition the state DOT to reduce the speed limit. And what happens, they come down and they put monitors on, and they see what the average speed is. And if the average speed, and when there's a lot of traffic, the people are not speeding at all there. So they'll give us the average speed, and then they'll tell us, yes, you can reduce the speed limit to this. The problem is, and we'll do that. I'll bring them to do it. But it takes about 2 years for the state to make a decision on speed.
Right, I've been thinking about this
So I
for
mean,
the past 5 years.
I will request that we do petition them to lower the speed limit to 35 miles an hour, and then what happens is they'll come back and say, well, the average speed was 45, so we'll do 45, or whatever the average speed is.
I think it's 45 right now.
Is it 45?
Yeah.
All right, then we'll
But
petition them for 35, and we'll see.
Yeah.
We petitioned for Middle Road to lower it to 30 from 40, and they came back and said 35. So we can do the same thing there.
Making a left-hand turn off of Route 25A, you're taking your life in your hands.
Yeah.
But I always have to check the rearview mirror to make sure, I have my steering straight ahead. Because there has been somebody already rear-ended, and he had his wheels turned to the left, and he was pushed into oncoming traffic.
Your development might have been put up before the state DOT got involved with looking at the site plans.
That was about 10 years ago.
Yeah. So that could be it.
Okay.
Okay? But we will do that. All right? You do have a voice here.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Romano.
I'm back. Did I hear correct that the telephone audit was going to say $75,000 per year?
No, that 75,000 has been accumulative over the years, but there will be a savings moving forward now that we're not going to be paying for those phone lines.
Okay, because that sounds like an
But I
awful
think
lot.
we ought to go back 3 years. We went back 3 years, and it came up with 75,000. So if you divide 375, you'll find out what the savings probably will be.
Well, then that's $25,000 a year.
Yes.
Which would lead me to the question, and I'm sure you guys may have even asked this. I mean, were these lines kind of like covert lines? Because where's the management, the department heads? I know when I had to sign off on a phone bill, and I was anal about phones, and because I know how it could easily get out of hand. So listen, I don't know if management's been spoken to. They said this is something we're going forward we really have to pay attention to, because it can go right back to where how it goes.
I'm advocating that we upgrade our phone systems, and that could result in $250,000 savings over the next 5 years, and we would have a brand new phone system. That's off the state contract. I've been working with the company for the past year, and they came before the town board and submitted a proposal, and I believe it's the desire of the supervisor to send it out for a request for a proposal so that other phone companies can bid and we can optimize the savings. So, and still get a brand new phone system, which would be voice over IP. So it would all be computer generated, so every call that comes in, every phone line. Right now we're paying $20,000 a year for a maintenance contract, and that's if somebody moves their desk from here to here so that they can get an extension at the new desk. Whether they need it or not, they're getting $20,000 a year. So I want to eliminate that and realize at least $250,000 savings over the next 5 years by upgrading our phone system, and have been working hard towards that.
Sounds good. This is whether a comment or a question or something that the board may want to reconsider. Back in 2009, I think before obviously Sean, Jody, and George were elected, John and Jim may remember this, the Suffolk County Water Authority made a proposal to the town to take over the operation and maintenance of the Riverhead Water District. Like many of the other towns, it was the same kind of proposal, 40-year lease. I didn't know the particulars, nothing really, I don't think ever happened one way or the other, but from the leaks that I was able to decipher that there would have been a $20 million payment. All the indebtedness would have been taken over by the Water Authority, and well, this is what I was told. That's why I'm asking.
No, I'll tell you what it was.
And all the infrastructure would have been taken over by the Water Authority. I don't know if that's accurate, because if it was, it sounded, what I was told was that if that were to take place, that the Riverhead Water District would be able to maintain its water rates at the increases for years to come.
No.
So, that's why I'm here.
The Water Authority offered, I believe it was $15 million to take over the water district. H2M valued our assets at $90 million plus way back when.
The bond indebtedness, if I'm not mistaken, they weren't assuming it, we had to pay that off. Well, about $5 million, $6 million in bond indebtedness, do you think, in the water? So immediately, right off the bat, we would have wiped out half of the $15 million. And the Suffolk County water rates are significantly higher. Even after our increase, they're significantly higher than ours. And they would have gone up because the same upgrades to our system that we did, they would have had to do. It's my opinion that certain people wanted to run the water district into the ground so that a takeover would be inevitable for whatever gain, I don't know. And that's what happened, is the district was run into the ground. We only had the ability to provide 80%, 84% of the maximum water needs of the residents. And the DEC was seriously looking at us as a marginal water district, and the words came out of some of the staff members' mouths like, well, yeah, you guys are ripe for takeover. And so we reversed that trend, and we've spent a significant $5.7 million to upgrade, and our rates are still, I don't remember the percentage, even with the new rates, probably 20% lower.
They're still lower, but why I brought it up was I think I was watching another work session, and it wasn't that this was going to be the last of the rate increases. To continue the infrastructure improvements that needed to be done in the district, there would be additional rate increases, it sounded like, each year coming down the pipe.
No, that's what the HUM wants.
They did a comparison to Suffolk County where it does have a 10-year increment built into it.
So there won't be a 10.
No,
that's what it sounded like. Yeah.
So the upgrade that we did was the upgrade that we had to do to serve our customers with a first-rate water supply. We did that, and we had to raise the rate to accommodate the changes and the upgrading that we did. We don't expect to do any more upgrading.
Well, we'll be doing upgrades,
for,
but we don't
for quite a while.
We don't expect to.
No major upgrading.
There's not the H2M would listen, they're engineers. They're not politicians.
Yeah,
they would probably turn around and keep increasing the rates. But the other key to the water district, rightly or wrongly, this town for a long time has rated the water district budget to balance the general fund budget, and it's increased and increased and increased. And my goal, hopefully, when I can get the general fund deficit under control, is to start to decrease it. But we're close to $700,000 a year, if I'm not mistaken. And at the time that the water district was looking to be taken over, or at the time the water authority was looking to take us over, we would have lost at least $500,000 in revenue to the general fund. And the reason, I don't want to say we raid the water district. The water district doesn't have any managers, it doesn't have a board, it doesn't have payroll, it doesn't have personnel, it doesn't have clerks. All it has is 15 employees. So the district pays a fraction of the rest of the cost of the town hall. And we would have lost that revenue stream too. So there was nothing, absolutely nothing beneficial to the town for the water authority to take us over.
But I have to correct you. We are the board.
We are the board.
We are the board
right.
to the water district. So the water district does have a board, and we are that board. It's not an external board that's paid by the taxpayers.
Right.
We just, like the sewer district, we're the board for the sewer district. We're the board for FCAL, so we are doing extra work, so the taxpayers in town don't have to pay any extra people to be commissioners on the board of these different entities. We're the board for the ambulance, so we take that responsibility on when you sit up here.
Steve, just to get back to your point, I think I could probably dig out the original proposal that some kind of would, and we looked at it hard and heavy, but when you play Monopoly, you won't have utility, and that's a really, you don't want to really lose it.
I would, if everything's even, I would prefer the local control.
But the end game just.
But it didn't sound like, from a business standpoint, that the town counteroffered, and that's what always scratched.
I did.
What?
When I took office, I told...
40 million? I mean,
no, I said 100 million. I said,
well, come on, that's not an offer, 100 million.
It's a good offer.
Yeah. Well, if you could get it, it's great, yeah. But I mean, if you could have, say, negotiated $40 million, I don't know if it would have left the ratepayers in the district really in better shape, which I think is the goal that everybody would have preferred.
You know, I guess anybody can put anything on the election. If you get enough signatures, you can put a ballot on to do. So anybody don't.
They couldn't take us over.
Say so.
No.
If somebody wants to, they can. I don't think it's worthwhile to go with the Suffolk County Water Authority. I think we have a great water district that does a great job, and we serve the public tremendously.
No, I agree. The only way I would have said that it made sense if you could continue to keep the rates substantially lower than the water authority rates, and that's what I thought the deal would have provided, but apparently it didn't, and that's why you can do it. Okay.
But I want to point out, Steve, and you have some concern that the town of Riverhead would have rate increases in potential. But if you look at the Suffolk County plan, I think so over the next 10 years, if you look at that plan, they're projecting like 5% a year increases.
Yep.
So even with that, we'd never increase that much each year.
In their defense, their infrastructure, what they do each year compared with what water districts do is tenfold, and that's the reason why they're going to continue to have that. I mean, they do a phenomenal. Riverhead doesn't do bad, but I would bet you that Gary's not replacing old water mains. He's probably building new pump stations and some transmission mains, but the Suffolk County, and I think that's why locally you have the cost benefit. It's a defined area. Everything's not that old. Most of it's fairly new.
Most of ours is new, except for downtown.
Except for downtown.
Right. The rest of it's all new, but we are updating the master plan. We didn't follow the 06 master plan. We just went in full throttle and replaced things, but so we could provide the water. But we are updating the master plan, and I think we'll water master plan.
Is Riverhead going to? They're going to control UpCal, Riverhead Water District?
Yes. Yes, and we are working very closely. In fact, I was on the phone today with Herman Miller. We're trying to work with them to hook up the Conic Lake Estates in Brookhaven to the Riverhead Water District. And so we've had conversations about doing that, and they're coming back. Some of the original plans didn't work, but you know we have ongoing conversations with them.
Yeah, well, the geography is the jewel. You know, where you're located, it's perfect for them. That's why I thought they would offer a lot more money than what they did.
Hey, you get us to that $97 million in the town board.
No, they're not going to go down to that.
And that would provide some savings to the taxpayers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to be heard? Not seeing anybody? Can I get a motion?
I make a motion we adjourn the town board meeting.
All in favor? Aye.